All right, what's up, YouTube? This is Live Rich Cambodia. It's Sunday evening over here in hot ass Cambodia, man. It is hella hot over here. Okay, this is April and May. It's kind of their hottest months because it's still dry. It's still like they don't have any rain yet. Towards the end of May, first part of June, they start getting some rain. Start getting some of these monsoons. It gets so damn hot over here that it just pours down rain. But it is hot over here. I mean, it is hot. And I lived in Arizona. I'm used to the heat. Okay, but over here it's heat plus the humidity. And like I said, I keep my house cool, man. I got I got these mini split air conditioners. I got five of them in the house. I got one in each bedroom, and then I got a big one, a really big one over here in the family room, and even a bigger one downstairs for the dining room and living room area. It keeps the whole house cool, man. Anyways, like I said, it is Sunday evening over here. You can hear them outside over there. They over there drinking, listening to music and stuff. I don't drink alcohol. I used to when I was younger, and it worked out better for everyone, for myself, for the neighborhood, and society. My girlfriend. It just worked out for everyone better that I stopped drinking. So I stopped. Anyways, so I woke up this morning about 1:30 in the morning, maybe 1 o'clock, something like that. And I had to use the bathroom. I tried, you need to use the bathroom, and you try to go back to sleep without having to try to get up. So I finally just got up about 1:30, and I could have used the bathroom. Every bedroom has its own bathroom. We got a spare bedroom, so I don't want to wake my wife up in there, turn on the light and stuff, and all the rest of that. So, anyways, I kind of snuck out of the room, and went to the other bathroom over there, and I was already up moving around. My bones were kind of feeling a little bit achy. So, anyways, I set up, went outside, and had me a couple cups of coffee until about 2:30. Went and laid back down on the bed because I started feeling kind of sleepy again. We laid back down on the bed and didn't get up to about 4:30 this morning. But anyways, got up this morning, did my little chores around the house. Like I said, uh, my wife, she washes the clothes and she dries them, um, and she puts them in the basket and she puts them upstairs, and then I put them away. We've never really even just talked about it. It's just kind of the way it works out. She just puts the clothes upstairs, and then I put them away. It's easy for me to do that. But we got a couple washing machines. We got a big one, really heavy duty one for the blankets and the pillows and all the rest of it. And then we got a smaller, just regular washing machine for the clothes. But anyways, so I got up this morning about for the second time about 4:30. Went outside, having a little more coffee. Um, Checked my YouTube to see if I had any comments. I respond to every single comment, man. Every single one. I look all the time, man. If I got any comments, I respond to them, and I want to thank you guys for leaving comments, man. I like your comments. Some people have some pretty cool comments, man. I've had some pretty good. When I say lengthy conversations, I'll leave a comment to them, and they'll leave one back to me. And I got an email address in the description. If you guys want to shoot me an email, man, I love talking with you guys, learning something new. Anyways, so I set up my phone on my bicycle, set that up to where I could go right around, and I went to a village that I have never taken any photos from. It's a village. It's fairly close to the subdivision I live in, and you almost cannot take a car down in through there, man. It is just so crowded with people, and I mean, it's a pretty good size market around there, and it is shot out. When you guys see that shit, if you guys look at that video, man, okay, I didn't post it. I was gonna post it this evening, but I was gone for about an hour, and then I came back and took my phone off its little bracket and all the rest of that. So I need to use a CapCut. There's something called CapCut, and I can divide the video in half. I don't want to put a full, almost an hour long video on one channel. It's nobody's going to look that long, anyways. I don't look. I usually don't look at videos that long, anyways. So when you guys see how these people live, man, it's just astounding. And this village that I rode in, when you guys see it, it's going to be unbelievable to you to see how these people live. Okay, and they will live like that for the rest of their lives. 90% of the people that live here in Cambodia will never leave this country. They will live here for their entire lives, and Cambodia is not a very big country at all. I'm going to say it's the size of maybe Arkansas. It might be a little bit smaller. I'm just kind of guessing there. Maybe Louisiana. It's not a very big country at all. But most of these people will never leave. Most of them will never even leave the village that they live in. They'll get married, have children, live in that same little village. They might move to another one. But they're just going to live in poverty their whole lives. That's all they've ever known. That's all they ever will know is poverty. And I thought, here's what I thought. Because I've been coming over here now for 12 years. I've been living over here for about 4.5. I thought if I researched enough and I read enough, I could come over here and try to teach, which I did for 3 years. Actually, more than 3 years. I could try to help them out a little bit. Try to help change their lives, man. Tell them about, you got to have skills in life. Just selling something, unless you're selling cars or high-end homes or just, real expensive things or that type of deal. It's going to be difficult when you're just selling sandwiches and noodles and coffee and whatever it does. But I just never really could get them to understand that part. They'll open up a business, and you're going to see the businesses when you look at the video. You're going to see it. They'll open up a business, and they will have no business plan. Okay, they will have no business plan. They won't research anything. They don't know anything about a business. They have no business opening a business. And I'll give you guys a quick example. My wife has some friends. They lived out in the province, and they sold their land. They had a pretty good piece of land. They sold their land for $350,000. Okay, and they want to move to the city, so they came over here in the city, and they were going to build this because land is expensive over here. Now, building on it's cheap as hell, but land, because Cambodia is so small, the land is expensive. So they build up, and my wife's mom's house is 5 stories, and it's just so thin, it just goes up, and the stairs are like this. Okay. So anyways, they had this idea. They were going to come over here and build themselves a tall house and put a coffee shop in there and sell little cakes and stuff, and a little coffee shop. And there were coffee shops all around that. I went and saw where they were going to do it, and I told my wife, I said, man, tell them to take $50,000 out of that $350,000, go rent them a little place, live on the cheap, and invest that other $300,000. Okay, invest it. And she tried talking them into it. They don't speak in English, so anyway, she tried talking. She couldn't convince them. She said they want to do a coffee shop then. So anyways, after about a year of that, after the coffee shop was open, they ended up closing it down. They couldn't make any money there. And now they've rented it out for $500 a month. They spent all their money on that place, well over $300,000, buying all the stuff they needed to build the house and to make that little coffee shop. And they're only renting it for $500 a month. So you can do the math. You know how long it's going to take them to get that money back? A long time. They had to move back to the province, back in with family, and that's their only income now is $500 a month. It's from the rental from that coffee shop. So like I said, they had no business plan. There were coffee shops all around that place. I don't know why they thought they could go over there and open one up. People are just going to flock to it. So, like I said, a lot of these people over here, they figure if they just sell something, they can make a little bit of money, and they can. And like I said, they sell sandwiches and noodles and stuff. When you guys see, if you guys look at any of these videos, man, you're seeing these little places. They got these orange boxes with the ice in them where they keep something cold, and they got these little umbrellas everywhere. And they're selling. Everybody here over here is trying to sell something, trying to make a few dollars. But the one thing that they need to sell is knowledge. I tried selling them knowledge as a teacher. Okay. And it just, for, I don't know, 80% of the students, it just wasn't happening. I would ask some students sometimes if you could speak some English, what do they want to do for a living, and I would hear all kind of things, man. They want to be a taxi driver, or they wanted to open up a coffee shop. And I'm like, man, there's enough coffee shops around over here. And I stopped at this one little coffee shop. Sweet little girl over there owns that place. When I go on my bike ride in this one area, I stop at this little coffee shop, and I get a nice, tall, big iced coffee with cream in it. It's nice. It's really good. And she only charges $1. Okay. So, and there's a cup, there's ice, there's coffee involved, there's a straw. I mean, there's expenses. So I usually give her a couple dollars, man, because at Starbucks, I'm used to paying, $6, $7 for a cup of coffee. Anyways, but like I said, most of these people over here, they don't have the knowledge or the education. I've invested in a couple businesses in my life, and I've started a couple businesses in my life. And I did all the research. I had a business plan. I kind of scouted around, and I found a place, you know what I'm saying? So I found out who my competition was. Like I said, it took me probably a good 8 or 9 months of research before I made the plunge to open up a business. But over here, they don't do that. I can't convince them to do it. I asked one boy one day, he was in the 12th grade, he was ready to graduate, and he could speak okay English. And I said, hey brother, I said, you graduating this year, right? And at the end of the school year. And he said, yeah. And I said, what's your plan? He said, what do you mean, what's my plan? I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to go make money. And I said, well, how are you going to make money? He said, I don't know. I said, well, that's not a plan, brother. That's just not a plan. You're going to work for a company. He said he didn't know what he was going to do yet. And he was getting ready to graduate from high school in one of the poorest countries in the world. So, like I said, you're going to see on the thumbnail how these people over here live. If you look at any of my videos, man, like I said, I went on that bicycle ride today. It was an hour. Well, I went for almost a 3-hour bicycle ride. But the first hour, I went into this little village. You can't hardly get a car in there. People try to drive cars through there, and it's just a cluster blank, So, anyways, I put my phone on, recorded it. And I was over there for about an hour, and I don't want to put a 1-hour video on YouTube. It's just too long for people to watch. So anyways, I need to put it on CapCut tomorrow and cut it in half, maybe make it down to about 20, 25 minutes each. And I'll probably put it on tomorrow night. But anyways, you guys can see how they live, right? You guys can see how they live. And you're going to see some absolutely beautiful young ladies. And for you single guys, or even you single girls, man, if that's your thing, I don't know much about the girl liking, loving girl thing, but you come over here, man. Maybe you could swap. I mean, if you got money, I think you could get one. I'm pretty sure if you're a girl and you like girls and you got some kind of you got something going on, I'm pretty sure you could find yourself a beautiful young Asian girl, if that's your thing, man. Like I said, I don't know anything about that lifestyle, so I'm just kind of guessing right there. But like I said, A lot of these people, most of these people over here will remain poor their entire lives. Like I said, most of them will never leave their country, and most of them will never leave the village that they live in. Anyway, so and I got on this, I got 91 subscribers on Live Rich Cambodia. Can we get it up to 100? You think there's a way, man, we can push that? Give me the finger, man. You give me whatever I want to do. You guys give me whatever finger you want. Can we get it up to 100 subscribers, man? That would be hella cool. Anyways, um, you guys just keep pumping it out, man. I'm 67 and I'm still not stopping. Okay, I'm still looking for a job teaching. I like teaching. I think it's fun. Not these little young children, but the older ones I enjoy teaching. And I'm doing the YouTube thing. Going to the gym. I'm trying to keep myself active. I'm not one of these retirees that's just going to lay around. I don't fish or hunt, none of that kind of stuff. So, anyways, you guys take care and be safe, man. And like I said, think about coming over here, man, when you guys retire. I'll help you out for free right now. Later on, you're going to have a card, not the Discover card. I don't want. We got one family that lives over here in the subdivision. They most likely have a Discover card. Okay, the wife is Cambodian, but the father's not. Okay, and he most likely has a Discover card. Okay, and he most likely goes on Carnival cruises if he was in the USA. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, if you guys can hit subscribe and like, and if you got any comments or anything, my email address is in the description box. I appreciate you guys watching, man, so much. So, anyways, you guys have a good. You guys won't get this till until tomorrow. I put it out. It'll come out. It'll come out tomorrow. So, anyways, you guys have a good one, and I appreciate every single one of you, man. Thank you much. Don't forget, give me the finger, man. I want to hear. I want to see some. I want 100. I'm at 91 right now. Can we get to 100, please? All right. Thank you. Bye.